Hi, it's Thomas Sells Jr. and it's graduation season, as you can see. It's time for the class of 2022 to walk across that stage and throw them deuces, the class of deuces. You know, the Millington Star, we're privileged to cover Millington Central, Montford High School, Brighton High School, and Tipton Rosemark Academy. And we had the pleasure of meeting with their top students for the class of 2022 recently. So let's go visit all our campuses and the top students from this year's graduating class. Hi, it's Thomas Sells Jr. with you again on the campus, this time Tipton Rosemark Academy. Class of 2022's top three are right before me. Let's get them to introduce themselves, starting with our historian.
My name's Jonathan Stewart, and I'm a historian.
My name's Emma Bain, I'm a salutatorian.
My name's Painful, and I'm a valedictorian.
Congratulations. And how does it feel? You're on the brink of graduation. Real soon y'all be walking across that stage. How does it feel?
Pretty good. I'm excited.
Okay.
Big relief.
Oh, big relief. Yeah, it's been a crazy 4 years to say the least. What makes the class of 2022 so special? Y'all had no year like the other. You know, you start off with a normal year, then your sophomore year just stopped. Then last year, we don't know what we can call that. Some of y'all went virtual, hybrid schedule, all that good stuff. Then this year, you were quote unquote getting back to normal. What do y'all remember most about these past 4 years?
A lot of Zooms.
Oh, so y'all got introduced to the Zoom class.
Sir.
How was Zoom class?
I didn't like it. Well, I actually kind of did because I was able to get my work done and be able to leave.
What about you guys? How many people be on a Zoom at one time?
The whole class.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So it's like a screen full of just little faces?
Yeah.
About 20 of us.
Okay, so what do y'all remember most about, you know, clicking in, logging in, and all that kind of stuff? You too.
I remember seeing some people fishing while in class.
Wow. Wow.
Who would do that?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. So y'all took advantage of classes at home when y'all had to be away and all that. But on that normality, Tipton Rosemark is known for being real close-knit. And y'all are like family up here. You know, you two guys been here your whole life, and you've been here 6 years, ma'am. So talk about missing each other, because I know y'all had to go through that period of missing one another. How was that? Y'all didn't miss each other?
I kind of forgot some people existed.
Oh my goodness. Very honest answer there from our salutator.
But,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens during COVID.
Wow, that social distancing put a distance between y'all.
Yeah.
Well, we got a couple of athletes in front of us, and how was that period of time when, okay, now you can practice with a couple people, you can't do this, you can't do that. How was that? What do y'all remember most from that?
It was pretty different. I mean, we, like Payne said earlier, we'd come in here for football practice and we'd have groups and stuff, and then before we even got to go in the weight room or get our pads on, we'd have to go in there and get questioned and stuff about symptoms and everything. And it was really weird because we couldn't be with everybody.
Wow.
And being a team sport, it's hard to practice football when you don't have everybody with you.
Wow. So, and that you know, that automatically causes some kind of rift there, and the chemistry is messed up and everything. But this year, things got quasi back to normal. You guys made the playoffs. I remember I was there for that big win at Hardin Academy. And then, you know, productions are going back. You know, y'all had the plays and everything going back, and prom was like normal again this year. Talk about this year. How was this year? Did y'all feel like relief, or was it trying to navigate? How would y'all sum up y'all senior year?
It's gone by quick.
Wow. Okay, so going back a little too fast, I guess, because 2 years in between are so crazy and so hectic. You know, now they getting ready to push y'all out the door. Y'all are the class of deuces. They saying deuces to y'all. But okay, what would be, I guess, the last piece of advice y'all like to give to those who hopefully will have normal years ahead of them, and that close-knit Rosemark group can get back to what it used to be? What would be the advice that y'all give? We'll start with you, Mr. Historian.
Just enjoy your time at the school. I mean, you're with your friends pretty much all day, so have fun, but still do your work.
Okay.
Yeah, be patient and like don't waste your time away, because that's something I did and I wish I didn't do that. So, yeah.
Okay. Very honest, sir.
Be prepared for any change that might come.
Hey, I think everybody that has been in the hallways of a high school the past 4 years can attest to that, especially since 2020. But hey, you guys, y'all made it. Y'all the top three, and y'all be at First Baptist on Saturday, stand up on that stage and you know, celebrating with your class in a hopefully normal graduation. Congratulations, the top three of Tipton Rosemark Academy. Okay, we're here on the campus of Brighton High School, class of 2022. I got 3 people standing in front of me. I think they're the top 3. Can y'all confirm that for me? Introduce yourself.
I'm Mackenzie Sailors, and I'm the historian.
I'm Colin Wanzer, the salutatorian.
I'm Angelina Nonaker, the valedictorian.
And I will be the guy you see in the reflection in the window there recording the Thomas Sellers. So I didn't think that out, but hey, we gotta continue. We only do one take here. Okay, congratulations, top 3 in Brighton High School. Man, it's been a unique 4 years for you guys. Freshman year, pretty normal. Life going as it is. Sophomore year, everything comes to an end. Junior year, y'all don't see half of each other. Now we're getting back to, in quotes, normal. How do y'all sum up the past 4 years? Who wants to jump in first?
I guess it was really weird for me because like my junior year, I did school all online, so I didn't see anybody the whole time.
Wow.
So it was really nice getting to come back this year and like actually get to see everybody and talk to my friends again.
Wow. Virtual learning. I forgot all about the virtual learning, so that is true. What about y'all? How do y'all remember the past 4 years?
During sophomore year, during COVID, I got to spend a lot of time at home learning things that I wanted to learn outside of school. Like I learned to play guitar and grew as a person, I think, learning during that time.
Oh, so you took advantage of it in that kind of way. What do you remember most about the past 4 years?
You just have to, I remember just having to like roll with what comes at you and make adjustments quickly. But I just kind of focused on my classes and it just kind of got me through it all.
Okay. So do y'all think the class of 2022 is more prepared for the real world by what y'all went through in high school?
Probably, yeah.
What makes y'all 2 think that?
We went through a lot of different stuff that like a lot of adults haven't even been through until lately. And we had to learn how to recover from it because we still had another year of high school left.
Wow. Yeah. Your thoughts?
Just like Angelina was saying, we have to learn to adapt through all those changes and unique situations.
Yeah. There's no blueprint, and we didn't have a book for y'all to study on how to do this. Y'all might actually write the book for us adults on how to do these things. So the future, pretty bright for y'all. What does the future hold? We'll start with our valedictorian. Where are you heading up to?
UT Knox, where I'm majoring in mathematics and I want to be a high school math teacher.
Okay. Well, let me look at his shirt real quick. I think that gives it away. You're heading to Union.
Union University, also to major in mathematics and to be also a math teacher.
Okay. What about over here?
I'm going to the University of Memphis to major in music education so I can be a music educator.
Wow, well, most people are going to watch this video and root for you because you're staying home with those Tigers, while our other 2 are heading out to Jackson and Knoxville. And music. So we got a variety here. We got, from talking to y'all, we got people interested in helping those with sign language. We got, a person going to a spiritual school and can help in that realm. And then we got music. Talk about how all these things, I guess, bring people together and how y'all hope to help the future. How y'all going to better the world in, let's say, 5 to 10 years? Who wants to jump in on that first?
So a lot of people like hate math.
Yeah,
I think a lot of that has to do with like how it's taught. I'm not bashing any teachers. It's just math is a really hard subject to teach. But I think I want to try to make math easier for people and have them realize that all of it connects. And once you realize that all of it connects, it becomes easier. And so I want to help the future generations get a better hold of math because having better math skills leads to having better problem solving skills.
That is very true. And math is very hard. Yes, sir. How are you going to help better the future?
The valedictorian kind of stole my answer right there.
Wow, that's why she's number 1.
Right, but I was thinking the same thing. I really want to help students understand that math doesn't have to be as intimidating as it often is. You know, most of the time when students are asked, what's your least favorite subject, it's math, just because they just can't grasp it in the way that some people can. So I want to help them to do that, and also not just teach math, but be able to teach them things that will benefit them their whole lives.
We know one thing that does bring a lot of people together is music. It crosses languages and barriers. So no pressure on you, but how are you going to help the future?
So all 3 of us want to be teachers, so it's like we're all going to have pretty similar answers, but I feel like for music, like growing up, I always heard that like, oh, music is just a hobby, you can't make a living off of it. So I want to be able to teach people you can appreciate music and it can be more than just a hobby if you want it to be, and that you can be really successful if you try really hard.
Wow. But hey, we had a variety of answers here. You talked about how important music is, but our friend there in the middle, he picked up music as a hobby during COVID, and I'm sure it bettered his life. And y'all have bettered the lives of the people here at Brighton High School. Talking to the counselors and administrators, they spoke very highly of you guys, and they're glad to see y'all survive the obstacle course of the past 4 years to head off to bright futures. So we want to thank you at the Millington Star for taking time and congratulate you on your achievement. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Haley Sisson, and I'm the valedictorian.
My name is Ezekiel Yarbrough. I'm salutatorian.
I'm Ethan Nelson. I am the historian.
Okay, we're here with Mumford High School's top 3, and congratulations. And we just got finished talking and wrapping up a few things, and y'all mentioned a lot of people that helped y'all get here. Well, you're on camera right now, so you get a chance to give them a shout out, mom and dad, best friends, and all that. Who's some of the people that helped y'all get here today? Anyone can jump in.
You want me to go first? Yeah. Okay. My best friend Garrett, he's been there since I was a little kid. He's gotten me through some of the toughest stuff in my life. Definitely my parents as well. They're one of the biggest factors in my success I've had throughout school. And then my grandpa. My grandpa's been there for all of my life as well. Also pushing me just as hard as my parents. So yeah.
Okay. Who wants to jump in next on that? Okay.
Obviously, shout out my loving family. I'm at home. They're thick and thin, man. My family at church. My boys in Under the Radar. Long time no see. I'll see you, Ryan, next year at MTSU. But yeah, just thank y'all for everything.
Okay. And I vow. Who we're thanking?
Well, my friend Nathaniel, he's been there through me since middle school, and then my grandparents, who really shaped me as a person, and then my mom, who I can owe my work ethic and everything. Like, I would not be where I am without her. She has really set me up to have such an amazing future.
Well, I think the reason why it's so important to shout out those people, because the class of 2022 is very unique. Y'all went through a normal year. Then y'all sophomore year, things just ended because of global pandemic. Then you went through a hybrid year. Now you're going through the year of adjustment where we're trying to get back to normal. You have to have a support system to still rank in the top 3 when it's all said and done. How do y'all reflect back on these past 4 years?
I think it's been an experience. It's been very difficult, and I think I speak for almost everyone in that school building over there when I say that it has been very, very hard on me. There were moments where I had wanted to give up, and going back to having that support system, those people are the reason I didn't. And I hope everyone has some sort of support system, because in today's world, it's very difficult to make it without that. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, y'all want to jump in on that?
I think it really is just about having the people there for you that can help get you through it, as well as just working hard, trying to adjust the best you can, and if you can't adjust completely yet, that's completely okay, and not just be too hard on yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you find yourself not having that support system, reaching out. Obviously, the teachers here at Mumford, the administration, they do their best, and it's honestly a family environment once you get to know everybody, and it's a lesson in finding your self-confidence and your work ethic. Getting through these 4 years have been nothing short of a lesson.
Okay. Yeah, well, y'all get to take that life lesson with y'all to beyond. We're going to Memphis, we're going to North Texas, and we're going to Middle Tennessee State University. And then who knows where the next chapter will take you after that, the good Lord's willing. So the last question to wrap up things, y'all stand here as the faces of the class of 2022 for Mumford High School. How does that feel to, out of all the things you had to endure, y'all made it and y'all be on that stage in May for graduation? How does it feel?
It's kind of surreal, honestly. Going back to elementary and middle school, you don't really think much of it. You don't really know how serious it's going to be taken. And then you get to high school. Even like my freshman year, I didn't really think it was anything of importance. And then you start learning about college, and that's when it hits you. Your last 2 years here is really when it gets to you. And part of me still can't believe that I'm here standing right in front of the camera right now talking about it. Yeah, it's really surreal.
Absolutely. When I think about being the face of Mumford, or Mumford High School, to, all the kids who are not in this position, whether that's due to family matters or they got in trouble and then they made a silly mistake. And in my speech, I hope to represent all those people. As the face of the high school, I hope to be just a beacon of light and not look down on people.
The faces of like this year's class is kind of crazy because there are so many other faces that I also believe should be up here with us. Like we are just a few of the amazing people that are in, our graduating class. And like you said, whether it's due to family matters or just you having your own personal deal going on, everyone, it's so happy to see everybody who deserves to walk across the stage.
That's a great way to end it there, and we thank you here at Mumford High School. Congratulations to our top 3, and best of luck in our very near future.
Thank you.
Hi, it's Thomas Ella Jr. on the campus of Millington Central High School. Some people call it Millington Central Middle High School, but for this case, it's Millington Central High School. And you're looking at the top 3 for the class of 2022, and we're going to have to introduce themselves, starting with our historian.
Hi, I'm Samantha Taylor, and I'm number 3. I'm the historian.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Abigail Hendren, and I'm second, the salutatorian.
Hi, I'm Aaron Blankenship. I'm 1, and I'm valedictorian.
Okay, they got through that pretty easily. Okay, but getting through the 4 years here at high school was not easy because the little thing called a global pandemic took place. How do y'all reflect on these past 4 years? Y'all are the class of change. Y'all had to change every single year. You go from normal to trying to get back to normal. How do y'all break it down?
It's hard. Just got to keep pushing through no matter what, I guess.
Keep adapting, keep changing, keep learning from your environment, and keep those lessons that you learn while you're changing because they're really important later in life.
Okay.
Yeah, just be flexible and just kind of take what gets thrown at you and keep pushing.
All right, so how did y'all stay consistent to achieve the top 3 rankings? What was that one thing that maybe in your home life or your school life that you held on to persevere?
I mean, my parents always pushed me and just you can do this. You're smarter than you may think you are, and that really just helped me to get those grades, I guess.
That's been something for me too. My parents have always been behind me, backing me through everything, and just sometimes passive-aggressively pushing me forward, but always pushing me forward.
It was honestly pretty difficult, especially when we were home half the time trying to get assignments done. I would sit there for hours in my bed struggling to get things done. But my parents really pushed me through as well. My mom has always pushed me to be the absolute best that I can be because she knew that I could do something important. And my little brother, Noah, who's a freshman here now, I've always wanted to be the best for him, so he has a good role model.
Wow, that is very important, family, and who's coming behind you, having those thoughts in your mind to set a great example. Y'all also had to do that on a brand new campus. Another change I went through, your campus grew with the middle school joining. That's why the name change and everything. Talk about, I guess, being the first leaders of a brand new school as seniors. How was that process for y'all?
I mean, I think I was not for the idea when the 7th and 8th graders were planning on moving up because my brother's in 7th grade and I was like, oh gosh, he's 5 years younger and he's going to be on the same campus. But I think as our seniors, we just got to be role models and thinking about that, walking through the hall, they're watching us, and even if they barely see us, they still do see us. And I think just acting correctly will help them in the long run and have someone to look at and look up to.
Y'all want to join in any sentiments? Okay, well, we'll move on to, y'all get to soon be the young ones on campus as y'all get ready to move on to college. Tell everybody about your college plans. I think we got a variety here, so we'll start with our salutatorian because she's going to be doing a little swimming or her next stop. Talk about your future.
I'm going to the University of Southern Indiana and majoring in mechanical engineering and swimming for them.
Yeah, you made a historical signing here, the first swimmer to sign from Millington Central High School to the next level.
Yep.
Okay, now a historian, we're still undecided at the moment?
Yes, sir. I have a few weeks left, and I know it's cutting it close, but there's just a few more things that I need to kind of figure out for myself and decide where I want to be for the next 4 years, especially since I'm moving away from home, and I know that I want to do that much. But I do know that I want to double major in musical theater and marketing, And I'm really excited about that regardless of where I go.
Yeah, somebody in the media that we can trust. Okay, and speaking of moving away from home, our young man right here is going to be heading down to Alabama. What parts of Alabama and doing what?
Huntsville. So I plan on going to the University of Alabama in Huntsville. I plan on doing mechanical engineering, working with my hands, just doing what I always love to do.
Hey, that's what high school is supposed to be, grooming for the future and doing what you love. And you know, you heard this before, if you got a job you love, you never work a day in your life, but there are always elements of work. But we appreciate y'all taking time with the Millington Star, and congratulations on your achievement representing the class of 2022. And for the people at home, let's see those deuces from the class of deuces. Congratulations, thanks.